Where the illusions end. I was 29 the night everything finally changed. I stood alone in the dimly lit parking lot outside Blue Harbor, a restaurant that once felt like home during family celebrations. The evening breeze was cold, but the real chill came from somewhere deeper, somewhere inside me. Behind me, through the restaurant's glass doors, I heard the angry voice of the man I once called my brother. "You owe us. You've always owed us." Kyle shouted, loud enough for the whole world to hear. For the first time in years, I didn't flinch. This was the moment my illusions ended. 3 days earlier, it started with a phone call from Emma, my late father's wife, not my biological mother, but someone who once tried to build a connection with me. Her voice trembled. "Olivia, please, come to dinner. We miss you." I should have been wary. After my father passed away, everything between us shattered. Disagreements over his company, pressure, debts, and Kyle deciding I didn't belong to his family. But loneliness can be persuasive. It can make you believe people deserve a second chance. So I said yes. The dinner that revealed everything. When I walked into the restaurant, I saw them immediately. Kyle leaning back in his chair, wearing a brand new leather jacket he clearly couldn't afford. His wife, Haley, scrolling on her phone with perfect nails and an empty smile. Emma, small and tired, her hands folded like she was asking life for forgiveness. There was no chair for me. Kyle glanced up, smirked, and said, "Didn't think you'd actually show up. Guess we'll get you a chair." I took the seat without responding. They talked over each other. Kyle bragging about his new truck. Haley about their renovation plans. Emma trying to sound optimistic, but shrinking every time Kyle glared at her. I sat quietly, listening, hoping I was wrong about why they'd invited me. But deep down, I already knew. When the bill arrived, when dinner ended, the waiter placed the check in front of me. Not in the middle, not next to the man of the house. Right, in front of me. Kyle nodded toward it like he was offering me a gift. "You're the successful one now. It's your turn to support the family." Family. The word felt like a knife. "Why would I owe you anything?" I asked. Kyle's voice hardened. "You grew up in the house my father paid for. You lived off us. Paying now is the least you could do." Emma whispered, "Olivia, please just help a little. We're struggling." And then came the truth. Kyle had lost a huge amount of money in a failed investment scheme. Their house was nearly in foreclosure. They were drowning in debt, and they believed I was their lifeline. Because I had worked, because I had survived, because I had built something of my own. My breaking point. I picked up the check, looked at the total, placed it back in front of Kyle. "I'll pay for my meal, not for your choices." Silence fell over the table like a heavy blanket. Kyle stood up, leaning toward me aggressively. "You're selfish, ungrateful. We took care of you." Something inside me finally snapped. "You didn't take care of me. Dad did. And while he gave me a home, you tried to take my voice, my worth, my place in this family. I'm done paying just to be tolerated." I left money for my salad and the waiter's tip and walked out. Kyle chased after me, shouting about blood and obligation, but I didn't look back. For the first time, walking away felt like freedom. 3 months later, life became lighter. My interior design company grew. I opened a second office. My team expanded. Clients trusted me for my work, not my background. And Emma, she called a month later. Her voice was small but different. "Olivia, I left Kyle. I couldn't stay. I got a job at the library. I'm sorry for everything." We met. She cried. And I finally saw her, not as the fearful woman living under Kyle's shadow, but as someone trying to rebuild her own life. Kyle? He sold the truck, the fancy things, the attitude. Haley left him. He now works at a small auto shop, living modestly, learning humility the hard way. We haven't spoken. Maybe that's how it should be. A better home. On my 30th birthday, my friends threw me a small gathering in my friend Laura's backyard. Warm lights, simple food, real laughter. I looked around and felt something I hadn't felt in years, I belonged, not because of blood, but because of love, respect, and choice. That night, I finally understood. Home isn't where you were raised. Home is where your soul can breathe. You don't owe anyone your peace, your success, or your life just because they share your blood. Family isn't defined by DNA. It's defined by respect, effort, compassion, and reciprocity. Letting go of toxic people isn't betrayal. It's self-preservation, and sometimes, walking away is the first real step toward home.